Alright, hello everybody and welcome back to Discipline Before Dishonor. It's been a hot minute since we played a long dark playthrough, but a lot of my instincts with this game, even on the hardest settings, is like riding a bike. However, today we're going to be switching up the challenge in a way that I've never done before, a way that I'm dreading. Utterly terrified of. We're going to be doing Harderloper with slightly harder settings, tweaked, and endless night. So there's never going to be any sunlight. We will never be able to use a mag lens to start a fire. Moreover, the fact that it's endless night means that I'll always have to loot buildings in the dark, which is going to put a significant strain on our supply of matches, torches, and lantern fuel. In fact, how long it takes me to find a lantern is going to determine how many torches and matches I have to use in the early game. Because the thing is, usually you wait till daytime so that you can loot effectively, right? We're not going to have that luxury. It's going to be a playthrough of pure darkness the whole way through. And the goal for this series is to try and complete the Fire Territories questline, same as usual, right? It took us 250 days to do it, I think, in our Harderloper series, and that was with daylight to work with. So who knows how hard this is going to be, or if I'm even going to be able to do it. But we'll find out, and that's part of the fun. It may take many attempts, but I will make this a channel career challenge and try to get it done one day, just like Grounded Woe Permadeath. If we could do that, then maybe we can do this too. Hello, Mary. Hello, JJ. It's good to see you guys. Good morning. Happy Wednesday, my friends. All right, let's prepare. Now, we still have our old save file, but it's time for out with the old, in with the new. Let's get rid of it. So, we're going on a custom run. We're going to start with an Interloper baseline. And we are going to increase the wind variability and Aurora Frequency to their highest values. The world gets colder over time. We won't change that. Endless night. Boom. The sun will never rise. At rest condition recovery rate and regular condition recovery rate will be set to low, making it very hard to recover after damage. Other than that, we have to go down to the animal spawns, I know that. Revolver availability we're going to turn off. I don't know why that's set to yes when you play on custom Interloper, but we'll just shut it off to be safe, right? Now, all predator spawns have to be at their highest possible value, and all prey spawns have to be at the lowest. So bears, moose, wolves, timber wolves, that's all very high. Time to wildlife respawn is also going to be very high. And that, coupled with the low rabbit spawn chance, means I'm going to really struggle for cookable calories until the mid to late game. But even then, limited matches, right? We're going to have to cook in bulk, but that's way ahead of ourselves, you know? We are going to turn off reduce wildlife population over time. We don't want that, because we already have low deer and rabbits, and if we were to reduce the bear and wolf spawns over time, then that would actually make the late game easier to deal with. We don't want that. We want to fight for every inch the whole way through. All right, so wildlife smell range is very high, and scent increase from meat and blood is high. That's going to make it so scent is twice as deadly a mechanic as usual. And I think that is everything that I intended to change. Let me just take a look at the description of this stream to make sure. Condition recovery, yep. Good. Yeah, we can't change the wildlife detection range setting, because that kind of breaks the game. There's no ptarmigan setting, though, I noticed, so maybe ptarmigans will be kind of something that we rely on a lot, but they're obviously hard to kill. They fly away pretty quickly. Until I get a bow, that's not going to be a reliable source of calories, right? Anyway, we're good. I'm going to bring the code up on the screen. so that you guys can see it and potentially try this for yourselves in the future. All right, now let's hop in. We are going to spawn in Lower Great Bear, and we're going to spawn randomly. We don't get to choose. Yeah, the campaign, I don't like the campaign. I've never finished it either. It's all survival mode for me here. All right, let's start. And we are not allowed to take any feats. As much as they might help, I feel like they help too much, no matter what settings you're playing. Once you become a master of the game, these, you lose interest in these. So let's log right in. Trader is enabled. Quiet apocalypse. Okay. Let's hope I can find a lantern soon. Hell, I'm hoping I can find matches soon. This is gonna be hard. Okay, where the hell are we? We're in Hushed River Valley? Oh, God. Okay. We gotta hop down here and try to do it without hurting ourselves. Let's grab these. It's very dark, and honestly, I have no idea where I am, so this could be a rough start. In fact, we may perish before we even get our feet off the ground in this, since we're in Hushed River. I'll just have to hope I can find my way out, but we got some rabbits here, but I sure as shit ain't gonna travel with a scent rating. Where do I go? God damn. I think I have to go that way to get out, but I'm not really sure. Let's go over here, I guess. We already have hypothermia risk, so the HP loss is going to begin very, immediately, pretty much. Yeah, I don't know where to go from here. I guess we'll just walk along here. We're probably going to die a few times until I get a spawn where I can get my feet off the ground. Hushed River Valley, obviously, is not conducive to hope. Especially when you spawn at night in a flurry, Yeah, it spawned us at the opposite end of the region, I think, from the exit. I know where this place is, and we are so far that the chance of us actually coming out of this and getting to Milton is slim to none. I would have to go so far on foot, and we already have frostbite risk. It's really dark, getting frostbite risk for me is a fail condition, so if we get it, that's it for this attempt, and I'm going to just start over. It's still episode 1, attempt 1. You know. Well, the game couldn't have gave me a worse spawn just to get a feel for this challenge. Hushed River Valley is bad enough. Spawning on the opposite end of Hushed River Valley from the exit is just brutality. There's a cave over here. Hopefully we find some matches in it. Otherwise, this is going to be a very short-lived playthrough, huh? Even then, I can barely see. Like, we don't have the ambient lighting to loot anyhow. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Oh, there's something on the ground. I don't know what or where. A stone. Okay, yeah, we're going to have to keep moving. Hello, gamer fam. Good to see ya. Joker, you too. Yeah, this is probably a mulligan start right here. Not gonna lie, it's Hushed River Valley, you know, and we spawned so deeply into it. I know the way out of the region. The problem is getting there without frostbite risk is a slim to none type deal, so. And I can't even see to loot the caves that might have matches, so. Frostbite risk is ascending, just about 40% on that first frostbite risk. There's another cave over there, but really, what are the odds that I can even see well enough to find anything on the cave floor? I'm gonna close the blind. The glare isn't helping my visibility none. Yeah, I don't think I'm finding anything in here. Alright, we're gonna have to just keep moving. Until we get frostbite risk, and then that's it. That's the playthrough failed for all intents and purposes. And then we'll just immediately restart. Unfortunately, that first barrier is your spawn RNG. And there's no possibility of daylight. We spawned at midnight anyway, but even if it was daytime, there would be no sun. Yeah, I'm gonna call it, guys. There's no way I'm gonna manage here. There's no way. It's impossible. So I'm just gonna close the game, do a data dump, reopen it, and then we'll try again. Hopefully we get a better spawn than Hushed fucking River Valley. This is going to be particularly hard to get my feet off the ground because there's no daylight. Usually you can lean on daylight to loot places, and through that you can find matches, lanterns, whatever. I have no daylight, and I'm not going to let myself use the base customization mode to X-ray my way through a dark area, you know? Oh, the game crashed. Hang on. Let's try this again. Okay. Quiet Apocalypse. Get rid of it. Now, I don't want to have to do these settings every single time I fail. So what we're going to do is I'm going to write down the share code, and then we can paste it instead of having to do this over and over. So wind variability and Aurora frequency are set to high. Endless night is on. At rest and regular condition recovery rate are both set to low. Revolver availability is off. All animal spawns are as high as they can go, except the prey animals are as low as they can go to make it harder. Very high time to wildlife respawn. No reduction of wildlife population over time. Smell range is high, and scent increase from meat and blood is even higher than normal. And I think that's it. Okay, let me write this down. All right. 8SHM dash BZ8M. Very important that I get the correct capitalization and stuff, otherwise it'll throw settings out of whack. Okay, there we go. I have it written down. Now we'll just save it. And now if I have to restart again, I can just paste that. All right, let's go. No feats, trader enabled. This is going to be really hard. I don't even know if I can do this, just because I won't be able to locate matches in the dark, you know? But we'll see. Okay, we got Hushed River Valley again. Oh, we got the exact same spawn again. We're just going to immediately exit and come back in, unless I can find a different route that's more conducive to my survival. Which we'll try. You know, we have good visibility tonight. It matters. But I also might get a sprain coming down here. Good visibility, my ass. That changed quick. Yo, I just got matches. We got a pry bar. Okay. The fact that we have matches means I have a chance, but it's a slim to none type deal. So we'll keep moving. We'll try to escape the region. I really wish there weren't fucking flurries every time I log in. Like, we started 2 series, and both times we got a midnight Hushed River Valley flurry spawn. Fucking unreal, dude. But that just makes me think that there's an algorithm, right, where the settings you choose determine your spawn on the first load in, and then I'd have to exit and log back in to get something that's not Hushed River Valley. Wow, a blizzard. Look at that. I'm doing pretty good, Sheepy. Well, I'm doing terrible, but it is what it is. We got the same spawn twice in a row, and it was a really shitty spawn. Hushed River Valley at midnight. I couldn't start a fire in here even if I wanted to. We don't have tinder. I got a couple pieces of coal, which could help, but unless I can get to like a suitable shelter, even then I don't have a bed, so sleeping is not an option, right? Let's keep moving. But if I can get some cattails and get to a cave, then I don't know. We'll see what we can do. I've salvaged really rough starts before. And we do have those matches, right? Like... The dentist, eh? Is it finally time? Is this the long-term thing that, like... Are you finally resolving that long-term issue with the chipped tooth? Okay. I'll see you in a little bit, Chibi. You take care for now, buddy, and thank you for stopping by to say hello. I appreciate that. 2 root canals and an extraction. God damn. Alright, we made it to the Hushed River. The best I can do is try to start a warming fire here in a windproof place. Alright, let's give this a shot. We have 2 pieces of coal. We'll talk to you later, Shibi. You take care, and I hope that it all goes well enough for you, you know? It's gonna take both pieces of coal in order to make this fire hot enough for us to not freeze. We gotta reduce our frostbite risk. And let's process these rose hips so we can make a warming tea. At the very least, I think this place is completely windproof. Oh shit, no it's not. Uh-oh. Well, that sucks. Okay. I guess I was wrong. But the blizzard's over. Let's try to get the hell out of here. Our frostbite risk is a little bit reduced. And I got some water. Shit, I can't get up that hill. I was supposed to go up that log. Now the bright side is I still have matches and coal. Well, no, I don't have coal, but I can get more coal in the transition cave that separates Milton from Hushed River. Goddamn. Still, already, we're alive and not frostbitten because of my own merit. Let's hope I can keep it that way. The exit to the region is just this way. If I can get to that cave before frostbite risk, then I have a chance. This is rough, though. Very rough. Brutal start. I really wish I could have made that hot drink before, you know, before our fire got blown out. I guess it wasn't a completely windproof spot as I had hoped. Oh, shit, and I left my can on the fire, too. Oh, that's terrific. But if we can make it to Milton, I can probably get a cooking pot at the Milton house. All right, we got to cross this bridge right here. Making a Hushed River Valley spawn work would be quite an accolade, but I already have the hypothermia risk, so I'm very doubtful of the prospect. We'll see. We will see, but I'd at least have to make it to that transition cave between here and Milton, so I could start a fire, warm up, get rid of the hypothermia risk, and from there it's a simple matter of shelter hopping, but there's no shelters in Hushed River. You gotta leave Hushed River for your first one. I mean, technically there's the ice caves, but then you still have the trouble of trying to get out of the region, and that's no easier, you know? So I may as well try to beeline it toward the cave, but we're already at 55% hypothermia risk. And the wind is conveniently enough completely against us going up this hill, so we'll be slowed by 2 factors, not just 1. Okay, we're kind of windproof going up this hill. %. If I make it, then I've got a shot at this being our takeoff playthrough. And it'll be all the more impressive because we managed to do it in flurries in Hushed River Valley, right? Well, we made it to the cave, but it's probably going to be cold enough in there where we're still freezing. I'll need a fire. So let's get one lit. I can grab my first torches from this. The fact that it was just bright enough to see that dead body in the cave, and the fact that we got matches from that dead body, extremely fortuitous in and of itself. Right? I could have easily just decided, wow, well, we're in Hushed River Valley again, so I'm just gonna log out, fuck it. But, you know, we kept fighting, we kept trying, that's important. Alright, we're gonna warm up here a little bit. Okay, our frostbite risk is greatly mitigated. And we have 3 torches to use. Let's get going. I only have enough water to cover my sleep, so I can't really drink it yet. Let's grab this coal. Can't believe I left the can behind. What a rookie move for a guy like me, you know? But this was quite a stressful start to the challenge. I shouldn't be surprised that I caved under pressure in some way. At least not fully, right? Well, we made it out of Hushed River Valley. We have matches, torches. It's not completely hopeless. Let's get to that. Oh, there's a wolf over there. Let's get to that first shelter. We're probably going to have our torch blown out. But if not, I will try to keep it lit so we can effectively search that trailer. There's no daylight in this. It's always night. I will never escape the dark. So this truly is the long dark. Nothing but darkness for the entire playthrough. And there goes our torch, sadly. Holy shit. In. Okay, well, we're inside. We'll try to loot what we can find, but I'm gonna have to work largely off of memory of the place. Until I have a fucking lantern, you know, it's gonna be pretty tough to find anything useful. I mean, there could be a tool in here that I just can't locate, right? But, okay. Let's get a little bit of sleep. Six-hour nap. Now we gotta make it to the Milton house. I gotta thoroughly look underneath the workbench, because sometimes there's like tools back there. Might be something behind this leaning mattress, or, you know, something like that. Oh, metal container. Empty. Well, I looked around for as much as I could find. We have to just keep moving. Obviously, the first bottleneck really is finding a storm lantern. Until I can locate a storm lantern, looting is going to require... Every single building that I want to loot is going to require a match. And it would seem that the only way to mitigate my frostbite risk is to have a fire. I need to very quickly try to get my hands on wraps for my head and hands. Which is something I can only do if I get a sewing kit and some cloth. Which are things I can only find if I have enough light level to loot. I really can't spend too much time out here. The frostbite risk is the main issue right now. We'll have other issues soon, but that's the pressing one. I'm gonna have to just beeline it straight to the house. I can't stop. Yeah, frostbite risk will start ticking up now. I see a wolf off in the distance. I'll have to go around him to get to that house. Directly in our path. Another one over there. 2 wolves. I should try to hang left. Jesus. Got a little closer to him than I was comfortable with. We're almost at the Milton house. If we get there, we have a shot. So far, it's already been a riveting adventure. We've already had so many odds stacked against us, and making it here alone was a testament to capability. All right, we're here. Now, we gotta loot the house, and the only way to do that is to use a match. I'll start a fire so that we can chain more torches out of it. Probably what I'm gonna need to do is have a central fire and get torches out of it so I can try to loot the surrounding homes, but as long as the wind is too strong, I won't be able to carry the torch to that home, you know? Either way, we have 2 cooking pots now, so the can problem is dealt with. Got a skillet, pinnacle peaches. And to tell you the truth, I already got a hell of a lot further than I thought I would. Alright, let's go search upstairs. Hopefully I find a sewing kit somewhere in this house. And there's the other issue of me needing light in order to craft. No daylight means you need fire to craft stuff. I just thought of that now. I didn't even consider that until this point. So... So, to an extent that we've never before known, fire truly is life. We got more matches. That's good. Combat pants help us to stay warmer. We also got a pair of wool socks. A dress shirt. Sewing kit. I can now make hand wraps and a head wrap, provided I have the cloth. Let's go down and start a fire. And then I'll get started on trying to craft the hand wraps and head wrap. I think that the dial that shows like the sun and the moon, that at the top right corner, I think it's just always gonna be a moon. There's no there is technically no daylight period. So right as soon as the moon reaches the end, it's just the moon again. You know? Anyway. We gotta get some cloth. Take a drink. Okay, let's craft our wraps. Improvised hand wraps. I may as well be boiling water while we do this. Wasting fire at all is just a singularly bad plan, right? Like... I would need cooking oil in order to make bannocks, which I don't yet have. Let's cook the potato. Boil some water. And warm up the pinnacle peaches. I'll have to smash it open, though. Well, I'm doing far better now in terms of clothing. Got a cooked potato. So it really just always counts as being midnight. I sure as shit can't deposit any matches. We're gonna need all of them all the time. And I need to increase my baseline amount of carried fucking coal. I would love to finally succeed on this repair attempt, but I can't seem to manage it. There we go. It took 4 tries, but we finally managed. Alright. Anyway, there's definitely a blizzard out there. Grab the torch. Put that in there. We're gonna grab a bunch of these torches. I can't run out. I can't afford to at all. Hopefully we can find some cooking oil somewhere so I can make bannocks later. Anyway, for now, let's go check up in the pantry. There's usually loot hidden up there. Right here. Accelerant. And Lily's pancake recipe. I need to get as many good torches as I can. We pretty much need a torch per building that we want to search. That one's good. It's like 40%. So was that one. That one's shitty. Many shitty ones. There we go. Beautiful. I suppose I'll make 30% my baseline minimum required torch durability. But at least now we don't have to contend with frostbite risk. There's no way in hell I can leave here, right? With a torch in hand? Oh, fuck no. Yeah, that ain't happening. Alright, let's just get some sleep then. I need to try to recover some missing health. Okay. And we wake up to the dark. Ah, yes. Alright, what's my encumbrance? We are not really encumbered at all. I can afford to carry everything on me, as long as we're this early in the game. Anyway, let's go pick a place to loot. Oh, beautiful amount of light right now. Not that it makes a difference when indoors, but while outdoors it certainly will make a difference. As you guys can see, I barely got any health back for that sleep. That's gonna be pretty normal. We need to immediately get to a source of Birch Bark Tea, because Birch Bark Tea is how you survive this. You need to use Birch Bark Tea to augment your condition recovery. That means we have to go to Mystery Lake, and we need to pretty much base up at the ravine and turtle up there while we produce a lot of teas. Anyway, yeah, in order to loot this place, we need a torch. Which means we spend a match. Oh, buddy. Tin of coffee. If I'm lucky, I'll be able to go from one building to the other without the wind blowing out my torch, but we have high wind variability, which is gonna add a significant amount of... It's gonna make it very unlikely, you know. Nice, we got a wool toque. Okay, first digit is 4. Second digit is 32. There we go, we're in. What do we got? Pork and beans and a thin wool sweater. I may actually want to keep the cash just for tinder. Anyway, it's time that we tried to swap out the torch. Cooking oil. We can now make Bannix. One of the best ways to heal when you have low condition recovery, you don't get nearly as much back from sleeping. The only way you're going to get into the positive with your health and gain it back over time is by staying fed. It makes Bannix far more important. Another pair of wool socks. Take the water. Nothing in here. Now, I don't much like the prospect of it, but I might need to try to get that jerry can of fuel up at the plane crash. It would also give us an emergency stim for health recovery. It may be a brutal path up there, but I need to try. We got herbal tea. That will also help with the condition recovery effort. Not as much as birch bark will, but... It's awesome how many buildings we've managed to search with just one torch without the wind blowing it out. And I certainly have not been left to want for clothing in this playthrough. It's... oh yeah. Okay, there goes the torch. Alright, we're gonna want to prepare for a journey up to the plane crash. I definitely can't repair like this, right? No, too dark. I'd have to be camping outside in order to manage. Let's take all of our coal with us. We can also grab more. Take a book for starting a fire. Or I could just use the accelerant with the stick. Okay. Well, I'm gonna take the skillet with me, at least. And I'll also bring the flour and the oil in case I get a chance to cook bannocks while we're traveling. I don't think you need salt for the bannocks, right? I'll take it anyway, just in case we do. Okay. It's gonna be tough. Really tough. I don't even have a bedroll yet, but there is theoretically a place we can sleep up there. Not the safest place, but... Wait, let's make a few bandages. Hell yeah, Lee. Endless Night, no less. Harderloper, Endless Night. We spawned in Hushed River Valley, and we found a pack of matches in a cave that was pitch black, and we managed to make our way here before frostbite could set in. It's a miracle we've gotten this far, but I need to use a match and light a torch just to loot a building. So, like, we're praying that when we leave a building, our torch will stay lit so we can take it to the next building to loot it, right? Very match-intensive series. I can't use the magnifying lens. Like, this is tough. This is really tough. It's very different from what I'm used to. How much tinder do I have? 2. That's not much. We're gonna craft 4 tinder plugs. Alright. We have to try to make it to the plane crash up above. And there is no good time to do it, because it's not like we're gonna have a warm, sunny evening in Philadelphia, right? I'll try to remain in the windproof locations as often as I can. Well, the wind has settled slightly, it seems. Endless night. We need to find a lantern. That way I'll be able to use the lantern to loot buildings, and I won't need to use a match for a torch every time. It is a still, calm night right now. Anyway, I need to conserve my energy and try to walk as much as possible here. I do have a tin of coffee on me. At least fishing will be easy, right? The best time to fish is at night when it's coldest, and it's always going to be the coldest. If I can live that long. Okay. I need a higher cooking skill in order to make Bannocks. Alright, well, at the very least, I can prepare a coffee. I may as well prepare all of them. All right. Drink the coffee. This will probably be the hardest series I've ever done. Not just in this game, but on this whole channel. Okay, we got the emergency stim. That is a really good heal if we need it. I can attempt 3 clothing repairs with the cloth that we found. Nice. Oh god, at the last second. Okay. The wind may blow it out, but if not, we could start another fire up here. There will certainly be fuel available. Alright, let's try to get the jerry can here. If we can end up finding a lantern, we will be very grateful to have come here for that jerry can. Right here. 0.79 liters of fuel. Terrific. Either way, it's more than we had before, which was none. And at least from that, I could craft 100% torches or whatever, too. Accelerant. Tomato soup. Can't you get that fucking... the rabbit hot drink flask here? I can't see it. Maybe not. Ah, here it is. Okay. No, buddy, we spawned in Hushed River Valley. I had to fight my ass off to get here. Yeah. It's good to see you, though, Elijah. This is brutally difficult. I need to use a match and light a torch just to loot a building. And because we have high wind variability, it's likely to get blown out every time I leave a building. So we feel lucky if we can just keep our torch lit when going from one building to another. Alright, we got 7 hours on that fire. HRV is bad at nighttime, dude. Again, I don't think you've done the endless night thing. It was pitch black, okay? I spawned on the other side of the Hushed River itself. So I had to, like, cross the river. There were flurries. It was pitch dark, so I could barely see in the caves. I got lucky finding the matches in that tiny cave. Lucky. And, like... no, buddy. No, like, for real, this is excruciatingly difficult and painful. Alright, let's have a 6-hour nap. Yeah, this was brutal. Like, HRV is fine when you have daylight and you can loot during the day and, you know, but there's never any daylight here. It's just always pitch dark. It's always midnight. Alright, let's have another 2-hour nap. Yeah, it wasn't a clear night. It's brutal, dude. This is so hard. Like, so much of the regular stuff we take for granted is different here. I'm hoping to find a storm lantern soon so that I can use that to loot buildings instead of using a match to light a torch, but yeah, this is rough. Looks like we gotta go back during a blizzard. We'll do a cup of herbal tea. Hang on. I could also attempt repairs on the clothing. Well, the blizzard's over, and we did succeed with the repair. Okay. I'd love to repair that wool toque, but that's gonna take 30 minutes. We'll chuck a book in there. Hopefully we even succeed. We do have a 30% chance of failure. Okay, wonderful. Now, let's take this herbal tea and warm it up. Take a torch. Drink the tea. Yeah, I'm beginning to realize just how much, like, I'm going to miss regular Harderloper the longer I play this. This is rough. This is really hard. Usually you wait for the evening and you're like, oh, thank goodness it's evening. But what if you never have that? And when you want to loot a bunch of buildings, it's like, oh, let's wait till the daytime and then I don't need any light. That's gone. It's completely gone. All right, see you at lunchtime, Lee. You take care, buddy. We're doing okay, old fart. Considering the immense difficulty of these settings, we're doing okay. How's your Wednesday going? Well, there goes our torch. Let's hope we can get past this wolf without incident. I don't know where the bastard is. I'm trying not to sprint until I do. Okay. I'm glad to hear that, old fart. Oh, I wish I could just strip all the birch from that tree. We need birch bark. But at least now we have an emergency stim. We have the stim, we can get 15% of our health back and then sleep for 10 hours to get even more health back afterwards. Now we have to set our sights on Mystery Lake. I need to head over there. And I might actually, you know how usually I do like Timberwolf Mountain, all of that before I do my forge run? I don't think that's gonna fly here. I really don't think that's gonna fly. We have to actually risk doing an early game forge run, but the bottleneck is gonna be whether or not I can find a hammer or a hacksaw at the loot locations available. All right, we're almost back. I feel like I should try to read that cooking book before I leave, but the thing is, I need light to research. And it's never daytime. You know, like... I'll need a 5-hour fire just to research that cooking book, and hopefully we can unlock the Bannock's recipe soon. I definitely have a renewed appreciation for Bannock's, because when your condition recovery is set to low, you can't just fast all day and then sleep at night to get your health back. You actually end up losing more health while you starve all day than you can gain back at night. So the Bannock's allow you to stay fed for a while, and you get that trickle regen over the course of the entire day, right? So I'm gonna have to carry lamp oil, as well as flour, as well as cooking oil and a skillet at all times. Like, I can't... I need those. All the lantern fuel we can get is going to be requisite. I'm going to have multiple jerry cans on me just to make sure that I never run out of fuel. Like, this is different. I really hope I find a lantern eventually, man. This is rough. Okay. I did get some cooking experience preparing the herbal teas, the coffees, so we do at least have that going for us, Elijah. Now, if I can research that cooking book, if I can just manage to have a 5-hour fire and read it, then... All right, but I also need 5 hours worth of calories. Oh, buddy. I can do that, but once we unlock the ability to make Bannix, we'll be a little bit better off. Right now, I don't even have reishi mushrooms for like an antibiotic, so things could get really bad if I get unlucky. Oh, goddamn. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, the fire is lit. God, I have to use coal. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Eat the crackers. And then maybe a couple of these. I could, but I'll have to be warm enough in the back of the cave, and the nighttime modifier on the temperature. It could be possible. It could be a possibility, yes. Alright, let's research. And auroras. I kind of forgot about auroras and how they provide you with light. Alright, sadly we didn't get a level up, but we are very close. In fact, if I just cook these cans of food, we might get pushed over that line and we'll be able to make our first Bannix right now. We'll see. I can also process and prepare more rosehip teas, but I am gonna need more fire fuel in order to keep this going. Alright, we got Cooking Novice. And I can now start producing Bannix. I wish I could make Bannix in a cooking pot, but I guess it's okay. While that cooks, we'll prepare 2 rosehips. I need like 1 stick in order to... we might be okay. The embers might push it over the line for finishing cooking, but Oh, shit. Alright, let's just head back in. We're gonna have to hope the embers can finish it. Alright, good. I gotta take the skillet with me. Those bannocs are critical for our survival here. Alright, we'll take all the water. Now I have to go to Mystery Lake. We got everything we could as quickly as we could get it here. We'll search the Orca gas station on the way out of town. I should get extra HP back because we drank that herbal tea. We're close to full health right now. Go to sleep at night, wake up at night. And I like how thematically it's kind of appropriate. You know, the sun is gone, like the sun burnt out, and now we're in the long dark, right? Endless night, it makes sense. Everything is always cold, it's always freezing, the sun can't warm the earth anymore. I'm sure there would be other scientific ramifications to that which would make this unviable. But if we overlook those other ramifications and we just, you know, it's endless night, bro. Alright, we'll get to the Orca. Fortunately, I did find a pry bar. In the same cave where we found our first pack of matches in the ravine. Or no, in Hushed River Valley, yeah. Yeah, we're definitely gonna head to the ravine to get the birch bark. We need all the birch bark we can get. That's pretty much the only way to survive on low condition recovery. While you're still trying to travel the world and get everything you need. And in typical fashion, the wind is almost against us. I really hope to find some antibiotics soon. So far, I've been unable to prepare a reishi tea. I'm sure I could have, but I've been kind of panicking with the pressing matters that are always at hand, you know? This really is extreme Harderloper, man. No daylight. Look at this. Look how dark it is in here. I need a torch just to loot this place. We gotta spend a match. Like, there's no way around it, you know? I like it though. It's it makes it feel like you're contending with an ever-encroaching sense of increasing scarcity. Alright, we got a second wool toque. And if I find a fire striker, that's like finding gold, you know? Especially like a nice high condition fire striker. It'll be like the Lord has blessed us if we find that. Although, to my perspective, we're blessed already, still being alive right now. Nice ketchup chips, beef jerky, Jeef Berkey. I don't see a soda in the fridges. Hey, a hacksaw! Okay, now all we need is a hammer, and we could do our forge run. Something I definitely wouldn't have found if I didn't have a torch out. Take the water. Running shoes. Now, I might be able to get some repair work done in the little guard shack up at the top near the rope climb. It's one of those indoor yet outdoor locations, so we might be able to use it. Running River Oats. Pinnacle Peaches, Cedar Firewood. I don't think I'll bother lighting a fire. We are getting a little encumbered, but we'll address that before we, you know, continue on to the rope climbs themselves. I may end up finding a bedroll in that guard shack. That would certainly be nice, but I can't really hold out hope for that. More herbal teas is really going to help us out. When you don't have birch bark tea, it's the next best thing, right? Oh, we got a wolf over there. I have to hope that the wolf can't follow me into the guard shack. If he can, that would be trouble. And I have to hope it's warm enough in there for me to be comfortable. Not really. He's still coming. I hope he can't get in here. Okay, he may have ceased pursuit. And maybe I can make my clothing warm enough to keep me warm in here. We'll have to wait and see. Feels like what? Where's my feels like? Right here. Feels like -3. Yeah, not much I can do about this right now. Okay. I may want to go back to the Orca for a moment. All right, now. What shoes will I be wearing? Bearing in mind that I'm gonna have a lot more stuff I need to carry on a regular basis, I can't have heavy clothing. I should try to avoid it. These are pretty much the same, except those give me a 3% movement penalty, but 10% water protection. I may as well just wear the sneakers. I have no shortage of water. We're fine on that front. And as long as these shoes are harvested, I should be able to, you know, do the rope climb and whatnot. I'm still over encumbered, so what I'm gonna have to do is start a fire here and do my repairs here. Okay, we got an hour and 30 minutes. It's Let's make more Bannocs. And do repairs while they cook. Take a drink. And let's start by trying to repair the wool toque. Very nice. That's a substantial bump in our temperature resilience. Now let's make more Bannocs. Oh, blessed be the Bannock gods. My clothing really isn't getting much better. I'll want to swap these out with trail boots eventually. We're not repairing those shoes. But we do have other stuff we can do. Honestly, the more Bannocs I have on hand right now, the better. Makes us lighter, a lot lighter. Because we're using up the flour every time, right? Let's harvest our unused torches. We're now prepared to do the rope climbs. Yeah, I really like the stews and the Bannocs and stuff. The new cooking system did refresh and revitalize the game. It really did. I love it too. Harvest these for the tinder. Okay. Now, we're gonna get some rest before we go. That's okay, old fire. Well, we have to sleep first, but I think I can make it to Milton without the warm drinks. We should be okay. There's that cave that connects Milton and Mystery Lake, right? Or yeah, I can make it to Mystery Lake. We'll be alright. We got some Bannocs. We have a blizzard too, which means that the spawns might be to a minimum. If there are any at all. And we'll get another pack of matches in the area between Milton and Mystery Lake. So how are you guys liking the challenge so far, huh? Endless Night definitely switches it up a bit, doesn't it? It's scary. I don't have like this prevailing sense of confidence and direction anymore. I more so feel like I'm fumbling my way through, but it's refreshing to have something that's this hard again, you know? Get some stamina back. And let's climb. Take a swig of coffee. Probably drank a little too much, but I guess that's okay. I have to conserve my energy. Exhilarating yet terrifying. That's about how I would say it too. Yeah. It's always dark, always night. No mag lens, no sunlight, no beautiful moments where you look at the like deers running across a sunny landscape. It's just all deadly and dangerous. It's funny because I never really noticed how dependent I was on the daytime until I tried to play without it. Where the hell am I? Where's this cave? Did I, like, pass it? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Search the backpack. We got matches. As I'd hoped. Now we have to basically just keep on moving. No hesitation. We gotta go. And I have to try to make sure I have the stamina required for the rope climb by the time we've reached it. Oh god, I can barely see. Well, that's death. I must have to go this way. Yeah, it's right here. I think that might be enough stamina for the climb. Let's go. I hope it's enough stamina for the fucking climb. Yeah. All right, we made it. Now let's get the hell to that cave and stop freezing. Oh, Jesus. At least we don't have any frostbite risk to contend with. And it may turn out to be an extraordinary blessing that we found that cooking book and we're able to research it, because the Bannocs are gonna really help to supplement our food and keep our health higher, you know? I'm gonna pretty much have to carry every single sack of flour that I find, all the cooking oil, right? Now, theoretically, you can survive indefinitely on Endless Night. Now, some of you might be wondering, if you can't use the magnifying lens, then how would you pull that off? There's a couple ways. One, you could beachcomb for flares and matches and use those to start fires, which you then use to mass produce water and food in one sitting, right? The second way, the newest way, is you rely on the trader and you barter with him for matches. Now, I don't know what he requires for matches. It's possible that the stuff you need to trade him is finite, I don't know. But you can definitely beachcomb for stuff. That is always an option. All right. Oh, man, we gotta use a match in here. We're sitting on 28 matches. Damn straight, Elijah. And I approve that you approve that. Let's try to get as much coal on our way through here as possible. Water and raw meat for matches? Okay. So it seems sustainable. You never know, maybe we'll have an endless night series. We'll see. First, let's try to complete a forge run, because if I can't do that, we can't do fuck all. I'm absolutely dreading the fact that we're gonna have to do Ash Canyon and Timberwolf and all that, like, dude. Oh, poor visibility. And terrible weather. Like, Ash Canyon's a lot of walking outside. It is. With low condition recovery, it's made all the more difficult. Anyway, this torch definitely ain't staying lit. Let's just put it out. Trapper's Cabin, guys, we made it. Some of you noticed my new thumbnail. That thumbnail is a painting that Zuzana did of the Trapper's Cabin. The Trapper's Homestead. All right, here we are. Now it's doubtful, but there could be a lantern in here. Could be. There's a firearm cleaning kit. I thought they would have fixed that bug by now, but I guess not. Well, I can't loot this place without light, so we'll just have to light a torch and bite the bullet. Once I have a lantern, it will no longer be that way, but for now, it is what it is. Sewing kit down there. Nothing behind the chair. Got a bandage. It is annoying that we're finding firearm cleaning kits still on interloper settings because, like, you just know that the firearm cleaning kit, that could be my lantern right there. You know? Like, you never know. All right, 52. 51. 51, 38. We're in. Pork and beans and gunpowder. Sadly, no lantern, but it is what it is. Suck the fun out of it if we found one too early, right? Anyway, let's get some sleep. The TLD inspired drawing? I don't know. I may have, but I have like young man Alzheimer's, so I may have forgotten if you like posted it in the Discord or something, but in case if you haven't posted it in the Discord, then put it there and I'll check it out. Okay, we have the calories for a good rest. Yeah, really, that guy loved his pork and beans. Like, that's crazy. Oh, we have 7.5 liters of water remaining. We're okay for a while. Unfortunately, I can't do that forge run. Where's the workbench drawer? We already searched it. Okay. Well, it's time that we headed to the camp office then. I still have half of the cooking oil remaining and a third of the flour. At least the weather is calm. It affords us no safety or like security or comfort, but it is what it is. I should probably go check out the hunter's blind at the unnamed pond on our way to the camp office. Because there could be a fire striker there. And if there was, I would hate to pass it over. It will make our road longer. We may take the risk of additional condition damage, but when it's done, right? I don't have the hammer yet. I have a pry bar and the hacksaw. Yeah, we need to... The hammer's the only thing we have left to find. And then we can do our forge run, try to gear up. Cougars do spawn on custom, yes. Good evening, Jesper. How are you doing, buddy? I'll have to try to hunt rabbits and start curing guts over at the camp office. We need to have the guts and a maple sapling cured in case I do find a hammer, like at the Carter Hydro Dam, and I can do that forge run. Arrowheads are useless without a bow, right? I do have a hacksaw, so if I see any maple or birch, I will grab them. In fact, I see a cluster of birch saplings right over here that we can get immediately. It's a still and calm night tonight. I may have said I found the hammer. Remember, I have young man Alzheimer's, right? But, yeah. We need to find a hammer and then we can do our forge run. I see a bear off in the distance, but he's not close enough to give us trouble. Let's check out the hunter's blind and see what is waiting for us. Well, a fire starting book, along with a whetstone, but no fire striker, not today. Okay. Normally, I just pass over cattails. I never loot them, but it's going to be imperative that because it's always nighttime and I'm always freezing and I'm always taking health damage, I need to be able to stay fed more often whenever my health is critically low. And I would say critically low constitutes like 60% of my condition. So I'll fill my belly, and while we travel, I'll be digesting food and getting health back to at least some small degree. It'll help. Grab the coal. Grab a couple of these stones, too. We're at 36 kilograms carried, fairly encumbered. Good God, no way. Is the whole game just one day because of the endless night? I think it is. Oh, that's weird. So it basically freezes time for your playthrough, so you're not going to have an accurate like accounting of how many days it took you. That's weird. I don't know if I like that. Only because I want to know how many days longer it takes for me to complete far territories with Endless Night enabled. This is a very dangerous wolf patrol vector right here. Anyway, I'm going to climb up to the fire watch tower and then we'll head to the camp office. Better that I just bang it out of the way now. And I could do with a warm-up and a hot drink. I may as well make it an herbal tea, right? All right. We can rest when we get up there, before we head to the camp office. Yeah, I don't know. Hang on, let me do a couple of quick Google searches here. Endless night, colder over time, long dark. Yeah, I don't know. I can't find any data on it, but that is a interesting point that you raise, old fart. How would the temperature and stuff scale up? You never know. Maybe I'll actually end up discovering that this is easier than regular, only because if that stuff doesn't scale up, then, you know, the world never really gets colder. That would kind of spoil it, wouldn't it? But, you know, the early game is still challenging, so we'll just enjoy the early game challenge. And if I get to a point where it's like, we're too warm because our clothing is too good and the world's not getting any colder, then we'll just abort the baby, stop the series, and maybe make a forum post on the Hinterland forums informing them that they should tweak it. Because it's like, if you're gonna have a setting like this, it should be like optimized, right? These are oversights or incorrect, like incomplete implementations. Because for me, this is the only way that I have of making the game harder. So like if it doesn't work, they need to fix it so that I can raise my personal challenge ceiling. Otherwise, it's like I have no more Long Dark to play, and I was hoping that this would be the challenge that would shake it up, you know? Got a bunch of ptarmigans. I did manage to stave off and prevent some freezing damage on the way here. Let's light that. Water purification tablets. Sewing book. We got a second skillet. I can do twice as many bannocks at once now. So it takes 10 minutes to prep it, and another 32 to cook it. Anyway, that's it. I can't make any more bannocks. We're all out of flour. So yeah, Broken Body. I'm really glad Broken Body isn't a part of this. I don't like Misery difficulty. That's too much. Yeah. I tried Misery difficulty and I managed to do like I managed to fight my way to Timberwolf and do Ash Canyon and Black Rock, and then once I got to Black Rock and got the vest, I was like, I am done. Okay, grab that shit. And it's time we slept here. Well, the weather's pretty awful, but all we have to do is make it to the camp office. But yeah, it does look like you're stuck on that first day. And the shitty part, I don't know what's up with it, but I tried to Google this. It's like nobody's ever bothered to ask the question before. Yeah, it looks like nobody even thought to ask. And it, you know, even me, I started trying to play this. It was a good call to acknowledge that, old fart. Yeah, I didn't even think of that up until now. All right, so we have to go that direction that we're currently facing. Let's be as careful as possible while hopping down here. A sprain is okay, but I don't want to lose a bunch of health because I fell too far. Can't even grab that, it looks like. It's like an inaccessible... There we go. You had to go pixel hunting. Oh, shit. All right. I was thinking that I might try to get the guts that we need for a bow from that, but I'll pass. We're all right. Let's get to the camp office. I always forget it's actually possible to have a moose here now. Although I'm not seeing any rut marks on the nearby trees. Hey, sweetie. We discovered a little hiccup with the challenge. Time doesn't pass. It's still day one, right? It basically locks you in that first day's midnight. So we're wondering, does the world even get colder over time? Does wildlife population even reduce over time? Like, right? It's weird.
Interesting. I mean, you wanted a challenge to see how long you could survive with.
Yeah, but we also determined that if I want to, like, you can survive indefinitely on these settings because you can beachcomb for matches and flares, and you can trade with the trader for matches.
Okay.
So it's possible to survive indefinitely, but if the world doesn't get colder over time, sadly, it'll kind of invalidate the challenge. I'll have to raise it with Hinterland on the forums and see what they say. Okay.
Sunny outside.
All right. I could theoretically take a break from this and... would you be interested in going to the nest with me and getting a burger?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, I think I'll pass this time. Just be safe out there. Wow, we found an aviator cat. Although I kind of just prefer the toque. It doesn't require leather to repair. Salt and a magnifying lens. The mag lens is completely useless in this series, but it is what it is. No bedroll here this time. Okay, let's go deposit. I hope they add more custom options. I mean, once, you know, they announced Long Dark 2, so I'm worried that they might just sort of call this one good enough, but we'll see. We'll see. It's bittersweet, but I've gotten a lot of fun, a lot of playtime hours out of the Long Dark. I can't expect more. They've already gone above and beyond to refine the experience. I do wish that Endless Night had a progression thing, because it started to feel less real once we noticed that, right? But it is what it is. Put the cooking pot right there.
Saying that you can make.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard, but rewarding. Healthily challenging. Alright, let's deposit some stuff here. The mag lens is automatic deposit. I'll keep 6 coal on me for emergencies. Antiseptic. I'll hang on to those. The oil goes very slowly, so we'll just leave that oil and take the flour. And we're gonna keep a cooking pot on us. Where is it? I put it on the counter. Yeah, right there. That cooking pot will allow me to make running river oats. Hey, Theo. Hello, boy. Good boy. All right. I don't really know anything about Black Frost. I haven't looked into it. I'm just looking forward to having a new Long Dark experience, primarily. I'm taking a very, like, spoiler avoidant stance, because I want the whole game to be new when it finally comes out, right? Sprained wrist. All right. Now I'm gonna have a brief nap, and then we're gonna call this episode here, guys. We managed to escape Hushed River Valley, and we've already gotten further than I ever thought that we would. This is great so far. In the next episode, we're gonna try to get our hands on a hammer and do a forge run over in Forlorn Muskeg. The game has saved, but I should probably visit the Hinterland forums and ask these questions, right? Okay, it tells you how long you've survived. 4 days, 13 hours, and 18 minutes. Okay, guys, it might not actually be broken. Okay, look. 4 days, 13 hours, and 18 minutes. It might actually work properly. It may actually work. This doesn't change, but it's telling us that we've survived for 4 days. So, yeah. All right, I guess it does work, guys. All right, guys, I will be right back, and we're going to play some more Raft today, okay? I'm going to have a breakfast. I'm going to eat some leftover chicken, but then we'll play some Raft. All right, take care for now, guys. Oh, this is Theo. Yeah, little Theo Dean.
Oh, good boy. Oh, cozy boy. Yeah.
All right, guys. I'll see you in Raft very shortly. Take care for now.